Hi Year 3, Happy New Year to you all. We're really sad that we can't welcome you back into school after the Christmas break as we had planned. However, I hope that this video finds you well and that you are all safe. This is the first writing session that we're going to be doing for you. Every day you will be getting some lessons emailed to you for you to complete. So I will be checking, and so will the other teachers, to see who is engaging in the learning, and we will be talking to you as well regularly. Now in this session we are going to be looking at a new book to do with our topic. I hope you all watched the Igniter video. If you didn't, pause now and go and watch it. And if you did, you hopefully know that our new topic is going to be magic. Okay, so let's get started with our first writing session. Our learning objective for our first writing lesson is to use descriptive vocabulary. You will need a book or a piece of paper, a pen or a pencil, and a hard-working brain. Whenever you see this symbol here at the bottom, that means that you need to pause the video and have a think or have a discussion or maybe even do an activity. Let's get started. Here we have some key vocabulary that we will need for the lesson. We've got adjective. Can you remember what an adjective is? Well done. It's a word that we can use to describe. We've also got noun. Can you remember what a noun is? Wonderful. A person, a place, or a thing. We've also got character. We'll be reading a story and we're going to meet one of the main characters today. And then we've also got simile, which Chili Threes will be having a go at using a simile later on. This is the book that we are going to be reading together. It's called Leon and the Place Between by Angela McAllister. Have a little look at just the front cover. Have a think, what do you predict this text will be about? Why do you think that? Maybe there's some pictures that you could take something from. Is it fiction or is it non-fiction? And how do you know? Pause the video now and have a think or discussion about these questions. As you open the book, this is the first double page that you come to. It's a picture of what we think is some of our main characters standing outside the big top, which is like a circus tent. What can you retrieve from the picture? So remember, retrieve means to look and to find something. So what can you see in the picture? You could put this in a sentence verbally, or you could write a couple of sentences down. Your sentences can start with, I can see. An example might be, I can see 4 children stood on the grass. Pause the video now and see if you can have a go. Leon and the Place Between by Angela McAllister. So this is the picture that we've already looked at together, and you came up with some sentences for things that you could see within the picture. And here's the first page of the story. I don't believe in magic, said Tom, as he settled on the grass in the show tent. Around him, the crowd waited impatiently for something to happen. It's not real, hissed Pete. It's only tricks. Little Mo looked disappointed. Shh, now, whispered their brother Leon. It will be magic. You have to believe. Look, it's going to begin. After reading just the first page of the book, what do we know so far about Leon? Now, I know we haven't read too much into the story yet. However, it did introduce us to the character Leon and his brothers and sisters. So, looking at the picture, as well as the information that we listened to from the text, think about what we know so far about him. It could be knowing the way that he looks, which we can see from the picture. It might be about knowing him as a character and his personality, or some of the feelings that he might have. Pause the video and have a think about what we already know. Our task today, thinking about our learning objective to use descriptive language, is to complete a role on the wall about the character Leon. So, having thought about those things that we just thought about, what do we know so far about what he looks like, what his personality is, how he might be feeling? We're going to complete one of these roll on the walls. Now, on the inside, we're going to think about his thoughts and his feelings. On the outside, we're thinking about his physical features, so what we can actually see and what he looks like. I'm going to have a go at doing mine now, so it's my turn before you go off and have a go at your own. Okay, I'm going to have a go at the activity now of creating a role on the wall for Leon. Now I've drawn the basic outline of a person. It's not perfect and it doesn't have to be, so don't worry too much about that. I'm going to start by thinking of some adjectives to describe our character Leon. Now I know you don't have the book at home, however I will put a picture on the screen shortly when it's your turn of Leon stood outside the tent so that you can refer to it. Okay, so I'm thinking about him waiting. We can tell that they're in a circus tent and they're waiting for some performance or something to happen. And I'm going to start by describing Leon's eyes. Now, I think that, well, eyes, first of all, would be my noun. So I'm going to write eyes, because that's my noun. And I'm now going to think of an adjective to describe Leon's eyes. Now, I could say small, tiny, but I'm going to be a bit more adventurous and think about what they look like. So I think because he's waiting and he's the one that believes in magic, they are going to be sparkling. So I've described Leon's eyes as sparkling. He's got sparkling eyes. Now let's think about his hair. Okay, again, hair, is that my noun or my adjective? Well done, hair is my noun. Now I'm going to be a bit simpler with his hair because I'm thinking about how to describe it. I'm just going to go for brown. He's got brown, he's got brown hair, my adjective and my noun. Now, these ones here have achieved chilly 1 because they have got one adjective describing the noun. I'm going to push myself now and try and achieve chilly 2. So I'm going to try and think about using an expanded noun phrase, which I know is adjective, adjective, noun, to describe something about Leon. And I'm going to pick out, first of all, his hoodie, his jacket that he's wearing. So I'm going to say he's got green, because it's a green. If you look very carefully, you can see stripes. So I'm going to go for green, stripy hoodie. Okay, then I'm going to have a little think about his legs. Leon has actually got quite thin legs, so I could use thin. Then I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to add an expanded noun phrase. So thin, they're quite pale. Okay, thin, pale legs. So these ones are achieving chilly 2 because they have got some expanded noun phrases. Now I'm going to have a little think about him as a person, his personality inside, because at the minute I've only done things that I can see, his physical features. So, well, I know from the story so far that Leon obviously likes magic and believes in magic, so I'm going to say that he's quite adventurous. Adventurous. Okay, he's quite an adventurous person. He's also looking after his younger sister, I think it's little Mo, in the story. So he's quite a nurturing person. He's showing her nurture, which is also one of our French values. So I'm going to say that he is a nurturing person. That describes him too. Now, I'm going to try now and have a go at a chilly 3 challenge. Now, a chilly 3 challenge is to include a simile. So a simile is when we say something is like something else or as something else. An example might be as fierce as a lion or as hot as the sun. So I'm going to think of something that I could use for a simile. I'm thinking about his eyes. They're sparkling, but I might try and also include a simile. So his eyes are as, they're very round. I'm going to go, his eyes are as round as, can you think of something that's round? Oh, I'm going to go for eyes are as round as the moon.
Okay, so I've achieved chili 1, 2 and chili 3 here. Okay, now it's your turn to have a go.
Now it's your turn to complete your role on the wall about the character Liam. If you're trying to achieve chili 1, use adjectives to describe Liam. If you're aiming for chili 2, try and use some expanded noun phrases to describe him. And remember, an expanded noun phrase is adjective, adjective, noun. If you're aspiring to achieve chili 3, use a simile somewhere to describe Liam and try and use exciting vocabulary. I'll leave this screen on with the chili challenges and a picture of Leon if you pause the video now and have a go at your task. We would love to see some of your completed roll on the walls. Send them in to the Year 3 email for all of your teachers to have a look through and respond with feedback.